Okay, the Laplace transformation. Now we shall discuss the Laplace transformation examples based on the Laplace transformation. Today in this live lecture, we have to discuss the examples based on the Laplace transformation. Actually, up till we have studied the Laplace transformation, its introduction, Laplace transformation of some typical functions, basic operational properties, transform of some complicated functions, the inverse Laplace transform. So, before discussion of the transform of a more complicated Laplace transformation, we have to solve the problems based on this. Actually, this is the definition of the Laplace transformation. L of f of t is equals to f capital F of p, which is equals to integral from 0 to infinity e raised to minus pt into f of t dt. Now, these are the some standard or some typical functions whose Laplace transformations are given. That is, Laplace transformation of 1 is 1 upon p. Laplace transformation of see this. Laplace transformation of e raised to at is equals to 1 upon p minus a. Laplace transformation of cos at is equals to p divided by p square plus a square. Laplace transformation of sin at is equals to a divided by p square plus a square. In this way, we can find the Laplace transformation of some typical functions. And by using the definition or the Laplace transformation of the typical function, we have to solve the problems based on this. Yesterday we have solved two different theorems which are based on the derivative and integration of the Laplace transform, and 4 problems which are based on the Laplace transform. Now next we shall discuss, this is one important problem. We have to solve the Laplace transformation or evaluate the Laplace transformation of f of t is equals to t into e raised to minus 2 t into cos t. Now our aim is to solve the Laplace transformation of this function. Actually, we know that. What is the Laplace transformation of a cos t? Actually, we have to calculate Laplace transformation. See this, proof or solution. Now we have, what is the Laplace transformation of cos t? L of cos t. Who can tell me what is the formula for L of cos t? Means L of cos at. We have to use this formula. L of cos at is equals to p divided by p square plus a square. So in this case, L of cos at, a means here 1. So we can write p divided by p square plus 1 square means again 1. Is it okay? Now we have to find out the Laplace transformation of, this is the cos t. Then we have to use the formula for Laplace transformation of t into cos t. Now L of t into cos t, which is equals to, actually we have to use the formula for Laplace transformation of L of t raised to n into f of t raised to n. This is a 14 number formula which we have to use. Okay, Silpa Pancha, Snail Sivanige, Pranoti Kadam. Okay, now we have to use here Laplace transformation of t raised to n into f of t, which is equals to minus 1 raised to n dn by d p raised to n capital F of p. But here in this case, n is equals to 1, so we can write the Laplace transformation. See this is called as a f of p, capital F of p. Say. Now L of t raised to n, n means here in this case 1, so we have to use minus 1 raised to 1 minus 1 raised to 1 into d by dp, means first order derivative of f of p. But we know that minus 1 raised to 1 means minus 1 into d by dp of, again, f of p. You know that. What is mean by f of p? P divided by p plus p square plus 1. Again, we can write minus 1 into. Now, differentiate this. P divided by p square plus 1 by using division rule, u by v. Derivatives division rule. Actually, we have to find out the derivative of p divided by p square plus 1 with respect to p. That means we have to use the division rule, because in the numerator there is a term p, in the denominator there is also the term p. So we have to write the derivative of this function by using division rule. Pranavati Kadam, we have to use division rule, u by v. What is the d by dx of u by v? Who can tell me? If u and v are the functions of x, then what is the derivative? According to the derivatives formula, we can write, what is the formula? We can write second as it is derivative of first minus first as it is derivative of second divided by second square, v square. Actually, this is the formula for u by v. Here in this case, we have to use the formula for u by v. Second as it is. V means second as it is. Second as it is means which term? P square plus 1 into derivative of first. Derivative of first means numerator. Derivative of numerator means derivative of p with respect to t is 1 minus first as it is again p. Derivative of second. Second means denominator. P square plus 1 चा derivative 2p. Plus 1 चा 0 असतो. Divide by, again v square means denominator square. We can write p square plus 1. Its square. Now we have to solve this. Minus 1 as it is, minus in a bracket p square plus 1 minus 2p square divide by, okay, p square plus 1 bracket square. Again in the numerator we can write, we can solve p square minus 2p square. P square minus 2p square means minus p square, that is equals to minus p square plus 1 divide by p square plus 1 bracket square. Actually, this is a very simple mathematical calculation, so there is no any problem. Then multiply by this, that is multiply by minus, so p square minus 1 divide by p square plus 1 bracket square. So this is the Laplace transformation of t into cos t. Is it okay? Now we have to use the Laplace transformation for first order shifting theorem. Okay, so by using the first order shifting property, which we have to use here, the shifting property, that means formula number 10 we have to use. If L of e raised to a t, f of t, then we can write p minus a. F of p minus a. So we consider this as a now f of p. This term is considered as a f of p. So by the shifting property, L of e raised to, which is that term, minus 2t. L of e raised to minus at into f of t, which is equals to capital F of p minus a. Actually, this is the formula. Now here we have to use, therefore, the Laplace transformation of e raised to minus 2t into t into cos t. Suppose this is a f of t, small f of t, then its Laplace transform is called as a capital F of p, which is equals to capital F of p minus a means plus 2. But in this case, the function is t into cos f of t, so t into cos f of t, in this case f of p means this function we have to consider. So we can write in place of this equation 1, suppose this is 1. In place of p, we have to write p plus 2. We have to write p plus 2. So p plus 2 bracket square minus 1 divided by inner bracket p plus 1 p plus 2. इथं पहा p square plus 1 आहे, so we have to write p plus 2 bracket square plus 1 whole square. Now our aim is to solve this bracket. How we can solve? Expansion काय आहे तर आहे स्टुडंट सांगा. p plus 2 bracket square means p square plus 4p plus 4 minus 1 divided by, again you can write this as a p square plus 4p plus 4 plus 1 whole to the power 2. So we will get the final answer. What is that final answer here? p square plus 4p plus 3 divided by p square plus 4p plus 5 bracket square. Okay? तर अशा पद्धतीनं हे कंप्लीट आपलं सोल्युशन होतं. हे सोल्युशन तुम्ही लिहू शकता. डू यू अंडरस्टँड दिस? समजलं का रे? हा प्रॉब्लेम समजला का? हा खूप महत्वाचा प्रॉब्लेम आहे. हा प्रॉब्लेम एक्झाम मध्ये विचारतात. You must know the solution of this problem. Okay, this is f of t. Now we shall move towards the second problem. The problem is the same as like a previous example. F of t, which is equals to t square into sin kt. This is the problem number 6. Now our aim is to solve this problem. Now first of all, this is f of t. We have to reduce this into the two part. First part is a sin kt, and then we have to use t square into f of t. So sin kt is equals to k divided by p square plus k square. So sin kt, k divided by, you know the formula for sin of at. What is the formula here? L of sin at is equals to a divided by p square plus a square. But in this case, in this problem, actually a means k. So we can write k divided by p square plus, okay, k square plus p square plus k square. मी परत एकदा समजून सांगतो. So f of p is equals to, this is a, consider suppose this is a first function Laplace transformation of sin kt is equals to capital F of p. Now our aim is to find out L of t square into sin kt. L of t square into sin kt. That means we have to use the formula L of t raised to n into f of t dt. Sorry, f of t. What is the Laplace transformation of t raised to n into f of t? That means we have to use minus 1 raised to n dn by dp raised to n into capital F of p. Capital F of p means the Laplace transformation of small f of t. So here Capital F of P means this term, Laplace transformation. So we can write capital F of P means K divided by P square plus 1. And here N means 2. T square means N is equals to 2 sin kt. So minus 1 raised to 2 d2P by dt square. Because here we have to use a formula N is equals to 2. Then we will get minus 1 raised to 2 into d2P by dp square, which into capital F of P means K divided by P square plus K square. अगोदर जो प्रॉब्लेम सॉल्व केला होता ना सेम तसाच आहे, फक्त इथं टी च्या ऐवजी टी स्क्वेअर आलेला आहे, म्हणून सेकंड ऑर्डर डेरिव्हेटिव्ह येतो d2 डिवाइड बाय dp स्क्वेअर. इथं अगोदरच्या प्रॉब्लेम मध्ये कसं होतं पहा, टी होता म्हणजे टी रेस टू 1 म्हणून फर्स्ट ऑर्डर डेरिव्हेटिव्ह मायनस 1 रेस टू 1 dp by d by dp of capital F of P. So we have used this formula. But in this case, in this problem, there is a 2. So n is equals to 2. Put the value of n is equals to 2 in the standard form of a Laplace transformation. Then we will get d2 by dp square of capital F of P. Capital F of P means K divided by P square plus K square. एक मिनिट. So d by dp into, आता इथं पहा आपल्याला फर्स्ट ऑर्डर डेरिव्हेटिव्ह घ्यायचा आहे. फर्स्ट ऑर्डर डेरिव्हेटिव्ह कसा घेतला जातो पहा, परत आता मी इथं समजून सांगतो तुम्हाला. 1 मिनिट. हा, फर्स्ट ऑर्डर डेरिव्हेटिव्ह अगेन वी हॅव टू टेक, सी दिस, d2 by dp square of K divided by P square plus K square. Is it okay? Now we can reduce this second order derivative d by dp of d by dp. Second order derivative means we have to convert the derivative of derivative into K divided by P square plus K square. So we can write this in the form of 1 upon f of 1 upon f of x. 1 upon x चा डेरिव्हेटिव्ह काय असतो, मायनस 1 upon x स्क्वेअर. के पुटअप करा, के बाहेर घ्या. 1 upon x चा डेरिव्हेटिव्ह मायनस 1 upon x स्क्वेअर असतो. तसं 1 upon p स्क्वेअर प्लस k स्क्वेअर चा डेरिव्हेटिव्ह मायनस 1 upon p स्क्वेअर प्लस k स्क्वेअर d by dp ऑफ, आता इथं पहा, d by dp ऑफ फर्स्ट ऑर्डर डेरिव्हेटिव्ह घ्या, ब्रॅकेट मधला इथं डेरिव्हेटिव्ह घ्या, के बाहेर ठेवा, तर इथं के एज इट इज डेरिव्हेटिव्ह 1 upon p square plus k square. Derivative of 1 upon x is minus 1 upon x square. So minus 1 upon x square means p square plus k square bracket square into, again derivative of p square plus k square is 2p. So the first order derivative of k divided by p square plus k square is minus 2p upon p square plus k square bracket square. This k is as it is, which is a constant coefficient, we can take out of this integral, sorry, out of this derivative. So now again we have to calculate, see this bracket, minus 2p divided by p square plus k square bracket square. This is the first time derivative, because we have to calculate the second order derivative, then derivative of derivative is second order derivative. So first order derivative of k divided by p square plus k square is minus 2p divided by p square plus k square bracket square, and k as it is, keep as it is. So this is the first order derivative. Second order derivative वरनं first order derivative घेतला. वाटलं तर या स्टेप्स तुम्ही यामध्ये ऍड करू शकता. So now again we have to calculate first order derivative of minus 2p divided by p square plus k square bracket square. Now how you can calculate the derivative of this term? Again we have to use u by v rule. Derivative of u by v. Now how we can write the derivative of u by v? See this, second as it is. Second as it is means p square plus k square bracket square. Second as it is, means denominator as it is p square plus k square bracket square into derivative of first. First means derivative of numerator. Derivative of 2p with respect to p is minus 2. Minus, again first as it is, minus 2p. Derivative of second. Derivative of second means derivative of p square plus k square bracket square चा डेरिव्हेटिव्ह काय येतो, अगोदर पॉवरचा डेरिव्हेटिव्ह घ्या, 2 into p square plus k square ब्रॅकेट रेस टू 1 इंटू पुन्हा ब्रॅकेट मधल्याचा डेरिव्हेटिव्ह पी स्क्वेअरचा डेरिव्हेटिव्ह इथं 2p येतो, म्हणजे इथं आला 2p. हा डेरिव्हेटिव्ह झाला ब्रॅकेटचा. बाय युजिंग डिव्हिजन रूल we have to consider u means minus 2p, v means p square plus k square bracket square. So we have to use the u by v rule for the differentiation. Second as it is derivative of first minus first as it is derivative of second divided by second square. Denominator square. Denominator is p square plus k square bracket square. Again its square we can write p square plus k square bracket raised to 4. हे समजतो का पहा. हे परत एकदा तुम्ही स्वतः सॉल्व करा. You have to solve this derivative separately in the homework. Okay, now our aim is to solve this in the simplification form. आता ह्याला आपल्याला simplification form मध्ये solve करायचे आहे. So multiply by this. How we can write this minus 2 keep as it is. See here, this minus 2 keep as it is. So p square plus k square bracket square minus 2 into p square plus k square bracket square. Now minus minus plus 2 into 2 means 8. P into p means p square. Minus minus plus 8p square in a bracket p square plus k square. So minus 2 into p square plus k square as it is. Minus 2 into p square plus k square bracket square plus 8p square into p square plus k square. You can take a common. Now see this, you can take common. P square plus k square, p square plus k square is the common term. And this minus 2 and 8. From minus 2 and 8 we can take a minus 2 common. So this is the common term, minus 2 into p square plus k square. Then remaining term is p square plus k square. One bracket is remaining in the capital bracket minus 8 madna 2 common घेतला. If we take the common minus 2 from 8, then remaining term will be minus 4. So minus 4 into p square as it is, because p square plus k square is the common term, this common term. So remaining term is in the small capital bracket p square plus k square minus 4p square. Actually this is the mathematical part. You have to solve this mathematical part. Okay, now we can reduce this minus 2 into p square plus k square as it is. See this p square minus 4p square. We can add these two terms, p square minus 4p square means we can write it as a minus 3p square. त्याला आपल्याला काय लिहिता येईल, minus 3p square. So this p square and minus 4p square म्हणजे minus 3p square. Now this bracket and this bracket raised to 4 will be reduced. Which are the remaining term of hereafter? So k as it is, then minus 2 in a bracket minus 3p square plus k square divided by remaining bracket is p square plus k square bracket cube. Is it okay? Now multiply by minus, then we will get the result this. If we multiply by minus 2 in the bracket, then keep k as it is, plus 6p square minus 2k square. So we can write p square plus k square bracket cube. So the final answer is the Laplace transformation of t square into sin kt which will be 6p square into k minus 2k cube divided by p square plus k cube. Okay, so we can obtain the result of this Laplace transformation of a given function. अशा पद्धतीने हे Laplace transformation आपण कॅल्क्युलेट करू शकतो. Now we shall move towards the next problem. Our aim is to find out the Laplace transformation of 7. Evaluate Laplace transformation of t square minus 3t plus 2 into sine 3t into sine 3t. Okay, now our aim is to calculate the Laplace transformation of t square into sine 3t. Okay, now we consider this as a f of t. Now f of t is equals to t square minus 3t plus 2 into sine 3t. परत आता जे मागच्या वेळेस काही प्रॉब्लेम नाही समजला तर आता इथं परत समजतील कारण तोच प्रॉब्लेम रिपीट केलेला आहे फक्त वेगळ्या फॉर्म मध्ये. वी हॅव स्टुडंट नाउ यू फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल टेल मी the Laplace transformation of only sine 3t. L of sine 3t. What is the formula for L of sine 3t? L of sine at means a divided by p square plus a square. How we can write? Sagare student, Laplace transformation of sine 3t. Suppose this is actually first of all we have to calculate the Laplace transformation of sine 3t. That means 3 divided by p square plus 9. 3 divided by p square plus 9. Now our aim is to find out the Laplace transformation of, so it is f of p. Okay, Shubhangi Rajmane, correct. Now Laplace transformation of t square minus 3t plus 2 into sine t which will be written as a Laplace transformation of sine 3t, t square into sine 3t plus Laplace transformation of minus 3 into t sine 3t plus 2 into sine 3t. That means we have multiplied by sine 3t in the bracket. That means Laplace transformation of t square minus 3t plus 2 into sine 3t, that can be written as t square sine 3t minus 3t sine 3t. So we can separate this Laplace transformation because Laplace transformation is the linear transformation. So we can write Laplace transformation of t square into sine 3t plus Laplace transform minus 3 as it is Laplace transform of t into sine 3t plus 2 into Laplace transformation of sine 3t. Now suppose this is equation number 1. Actually, we have to calculate now separately Laplace transformation of t square sine 3t. We have to calculate separately. Then Laplace transformation of 3, keep this as it is. Separately we have to calculate Laplace transformation of t into sine 3t plus 2 into Laplace transformation of sine 3t is already calculated. But here we have to calculate the two terms, Laplace transformation of t square sine 3t. Now, see this. Laplace transformation of t square sine 3t means we have to use Laplace transformation standard property. What is that standard property? Laplace transformation of t raised to n, t raised to n, f of t is equals to minus 1 raised to n dn by dp raised to n into Laplace transformation. Capital F of t is Laplace transformation of small f of t. So, here we have to write, how we can write, student, you tell me. Laplace transformation minus 1 raised to n. N means, here in this case, n means 2. So minus 1 raised to 2 into d2 by dp square into f of p. F of p means Laplace transformation of sine 3t. Means we can directly written in the form 3 divided by p square plus 9. Okay. Now again we have to solve as like same process. We have to calculate the second order derivative by taking first order derivative of first time derivative. So we have to write this minus 1 चा square. How we can write the square of minus 1? Minus 1 चा square काय तो plus 1. सेम प्रॉब्लेम आहे अगोदरच्या सारखा. आता इथून फक्त k च्या जागी इथं 3 आलेला आहे. सेम ऍक्च्युअली परत एकदा नीट लक्षात घ्या, k च्या ऐवजी 3 आलेला आहे. हाच प्रॉब्लेम आहे. t स्क्वेअर sin kt. नाउ वी गेट t square sin 3t. That means we have to solve the same process. Okay, now see, minus 1 चा square 1. So we can write derivative of minus 1 चा square plus 1 into d by dp of, again d by dp of second order derivative we have to divide into first order derivative of first order derivative. 3 divided by p square plus 9. That means d by dp of, keep this 3 as it is. What is the derivative of? Keep this 3 is a constant coefficient, so keep out of this derivative. So 1 upon f of x, derivative of the main formula, derivative of 1 upon f of x, or we can write derivative of 1 upon x is, the main formula is minus 1 upon f of x square into f dash of x. This is the formula for derivative of 1 upon x. If we keep 3 out of this derivative, then 1 upon p square plus 9. F of x is p square plus 9. So its derivative is minus 1 upon p square plus 9 means f of x square into again derivative of f of x म्हणजे p square plus 9 चा derivative 2p. Therefore d by dp of, समजतं का रे, minus 6p divide by p square plus 9 bracket square. Now again we have to calculate the derivative of, keep this minus 6 as it is out of bracket, d by dp of in the bracket p divided by p square plus 9 bracket square. Is it okay? आता परत, now you tell me student, how to calculate this derivative? How to calculate this derivative? आता मला सांगा बरे, हा derivative कसा calculate केला जातो? So we have to calculate the derivative of this function in terms of, calculate करायची प्रोसेस सांगा. Derivative of this function in terms of -6 as it is. Again, we have to use the division rule, u by v, because in the numerator there is a p, in the denominator there is also p. So both the variables are arrived in the numerator and denominator, that means in the division form. So second as it is means p square plus 9 bracket square. Derivative of first म्हणजे p चा derivative with respect to p is 1 minus first as it is p. Derivative of second means denominator, p square plus 9 bracket square चा derivative 2 p square plus 9 ब्रॅकेट चा पॉवर 1. पॉवर मल्टिपल मध्ये पॉवर 1 न कमी, ब्रॅकेट्स रेस्ट 2 होता ना, तो पॉवर मल्टिपल मध्ये घेतला, पॉवर 1 न कमी, इन टू पुन्हा ब्रॅकेट मधल्या फंक्शनचा डेरिव्हेटिव्ह घ्यावा लागतं, p स्क्वेअर प्लस 9 चा डेरिव्हेटिव्ह 2p डिवाइड बाय v स्क्वेअर. डिवाइड बाय v स्क्वेअर. v स्क्वेअर मीन्स डिनॉमिनेटरचा स्क्वेअर. काय येईल रे तो? p स्क्वेअर प्लस 9 bracket square, its square means bracket raised to 4. So we can write this as first order derivative तो calculate केलेला आहे. first order derivative मिळालेला आहे 6p t square. आता calculate केला तो ओके. ठीक आहे. यामध्ये आता कॅल्क्युलेशन करा. -6 that is equals to -6 in a bracket p square plus 9 bracket square minus 4p square in a bracket p square plus 9 divide by p square plus 9 bracket raised to 4. काय करावं लागेल आता स्टुडंट? p square plus 9 कॉमन काढा. सो -6 p square plus 9 is the common factor. p square plus 9 bracket, this is a common factor. So remaining term is p square plus 9 minus 4p square divided by p square plus 9 bracket raised to 4. That is equals to this bracket square and bracket raised to 4 मधली टर्म कॅन्सल होते. -6 in a bracket p square minus 4p square means minus 3p square plus 9 divided by p square plus 9 bracket cube. Okay, so we can multiply this size. Now multiply by 6. Then what will happen? So 18p square minus किती येतो पॉवर रे? 9. बरोबर आहे का? 9 4p square 3p square आणि 9 किती येतात? 54 डिवाइड बाय p square plus 9 bracket cube. Suppose this is equation number 2. This is the result of Laplace transformation of t square into sine 3t. Okay, that means we have calculated Laplace transformation of t square into sine 3t. Then we have to calculate Laplace transformation of 3 into sine 3t. Also Laplace transformation of t into sine 3t. Again we have to use the same formula, t raised to n, Laplace transformation of t raised to n into f of t, that means minus 1 raised to 1, n means 1, d by dp of capital F of p means 3 divided by p square plus 9. But already we have calculated this minus 1 into first order derivative of 3 divided by p square plus 9 we have already calculated, and its value is first order derivative. See this in the bracket, in this brackets here. In this bracket, first order derivative already calculated, and that will be minus 6 divided by p square plus 9 bracket square. So we can write directly minus 6 divided by first order derivative. What is that? Minus 6p divided by p square plus 9 bracket square. So minus minus plus, so 6p divided by p square plus 9 bracket square. Is it okay? Suppose this is equation number 3. This is the Laplace transformation of t into sine 3t. Now put all these values in equation 1, putting 2, 3 in 1. So we will get the Laplace transformation of t square minus 3t plus 2 into sine 3t, which will be, first of all, see this. We have to put in the equation 2. Means Laplace transformation of t square into sine 3t, which is calculated in equation 2. What is that? 18p square minus 54 divided by p square plus 9. 18p square minus 54 divided by p square plus 9 bracket cube minus second 3 into t sine 3t. 3 is it is 6p divided by 3 is it is 6p divided by p square plus 9 bracket square plus 2 is it is again derivative, again Laplace transformation of sine 3t is 3 divided by p square plus 9. So we have to keep 3 divided by p square plus 9. Is it okay? विचारा रे काय अडचण आली तर विचारा. So 18p square minus 54 divided by p square plus 9 bracket raised to 3 minus 18p divided by p square plus 9 bracket square plus 6 divided by p square plus 9. Okay, so this is the final answer. This is the final answer for Laplace transformation of t square minus 3t plus 2 into sin t. समजते का रे स्टुडंट्स? हे समजलं का सर्वांना? हे 2-3 वेळा करून पहा, कारण एकाच टाईपचे प्रॉब्लेम आहेत. इथं आज आपण जे प्रॉब्लेम सॉल्व करतो, टुडे we have solved the problems based on the formula, basic formula, and that is in this formula Laplace transformation of t raised to n f of t, which is equals to minus 1 raised to n dn by dp raised to n f capital F of e. By using this formula we have solved number of problems. या पद्धतीचे आपण सर्वच्या सर्व प्रॉब्लेम्स इथं घेतलेले आहेत, त्या पद्धतीने तुम्ही सॉल्व करायचे आहेत. ठीक आहे? काय अडचण आली तर विचारा, तुम्हाला मी त्याचं सोल्युशन सांगतो, प्रॉब्लेम सोडून देतो. पण तुम्हाला हे सर्व सोडवता आले पाहिजे, दुसरं काही नाहीये. प्रॉब्लेम्स खूप आहेत. 1 मिनिट. नेक्स्ट, ओके. तर बहुतेक आज आपलं बराच वेळ झालेला. मोठे प्रॉब्लेम्स आहेत, हे 5-5 मार्काला 10-10 मार्काला विचारतात, तुम्हाला ते येणं गरजेचं आहे. यामध्ये तुम्हाला होमवर्क देतो मी. प्रूव्ह दॅट, सी दिस. आणखी एक प्रॉब्लेम घेतो मी. प्रूव्ह दॅट integral from 0 to infinity t cube into e raised to minus t into sin t dt, which is equals to 0. Actually, we have to prove the result of this term is a 0, but integral from 0 to infinity e raised to t cube into e raised to minus t into sin 3t dt. ओके, तर आता हा प्रॉब्लेम आपल्याला सॉल्व करायचे. हे प्रॉब्लेम सॉल्व करत असताना, नाउ सी दिस, here we have to calculate this Laplace transformation of this function. Laplace transformation of this function. How we can calculate the Laplace transformation of this function? As like a previous example, e raised to minus pt into t cube sin t dt. Okay, so now see here, f of t is equals to, suppose f of t is equals to t cube into e raised to minus t into sin t dt, sin t. So that can be written as e raised to minus t into t cube into sin t. Okay, now you know that the Laplace transformation of sin t. Who can tell me Laplace transformation of sin t? Now, Laplace transformation of sin t. So we can have Laplace transformation of sin t, L of sin t. Means L of sin at. A divided by p square plus a square means 1 divided by p square plus 1. Now also Laplace transformation of t cube into sin t, which is equals to, now here we have to use the formula. Which formula? Laplace transform of t raised to n into f of t, which is equals to minus 1 raised to n dn by dp raised to n f of p. So minus 1 raised to 3. Here in this case, n means 3. d 3 by dp raised to 3 of capital F of p. Capital F of p means Laplace transformation of sin t is 1 upon p square plus 1. 1 upon p square plus 1. Is it okay? Now calculate this. We can write this minus I as it is. Minus 1 cube means minus d2p by dp square of d by dp of 1 upon p square plus 1. First of all, we have to use the first order derivative. Before calculating third order derivative, we have to take the first order derivative. Okay, so we can write this p square. आता याचा डेरिव्हेटिव्ह काय येतो पहा, I is like derivative of 1 upon f of x. 1 upon f of x नुसार याचा डेरिव्हेटिव्ह घ्या. So we can write minus d2 by dp square of minus 1 upon p square plus 1 into 2p. So minus minus plus d2p d2 by dp square, which is equals to 2p upon p square plus 1. Here is a square. Again, here is a square. We have to calculate the square, denominator square. Now in this case, we have to take second order derivative. Now we have to calculate the second order derivative. Therefore, operate first order derivative. d by dp of 2p upon p square plus 1 bracket square. आता हा डेरिव्हेटिव्ह कसं सॉल्व्ह करावं लागेल रे स्टुडंट, तुम्ही सांगा बरे. व्हेरी गुड प्रणाली पाटील. आता हा डेरिव्हेटिव्ह कसं सॉल्व्ह करायचं, u बाय v चा रूल वापरा. सो d by dp of what we can write here in this case, d by dp of division rule. Second is it is p square plus 1 bracket square into derivative of first means numerator चा derivative 2p चा derivative 2 minus first is it is 2p into derivative of second म्हणजे denominator चा derivative 2 into p square plus 1 power चा derivative power multiple मध्ये power 1 न कमी decrease by 1 into again bracket p square plus 1 चा derivative 2p divide by same process p square plus 1 bracket raised to 4 v square denominator चा square. Yes, now again solve this. d by dp of 2 into p square plus 1 bracket square minus 8p square into p square plus 1 divide by p square plus 1 bracket raised to 4. Next, what we have to do? Again, we have to take the common p square plus 1 from numerator. 2p square plus 1, you can take a common. So, d by dp of 2 into p square plus 1 is the common factor. Then the remaining term will be 2p square plus 1. In the first factor, p square plus 1 is a remaining term. In the second factor, 4p square plus 1 minus 4p square divided by p square plus 1 bracket raised to 4. So this bracket and this cube will be get cancelled. So d by dp of 2 into, what is that? Minus 3p square plus 1. Okay. Divide by p square plus 1 bracket cube, p square plus 1 bracket cube. Now again, this can be written as d by dp of, see this, minus 2 आहे का? एक मिनिट. ओके, तर ही व्हॅल्यू काय येते पहा. सो 2 minus 6p square divided by p square plus 1 bracket raised to 3. आता परत याचा डेरिव्हेटिव्ह तुम्ही कॅल्क्युलेट करा u by v नुसार. मी डायरेक्ट हिंट सांगतो. अगेन इफ यू सॉल्व दिस डेरिव्हेटिव्ह बाय डिफरन्शिएटिंग, वी विल गेट द आन्सर. याचा आन्सर असं येतं, 2 इन अ ब्रॅकेट, 2 कॉमन काढलेला आहे, 12p इन अ ब्रॅकेट 1 मायनस p स्क्वेअर. हे कॅल्क्युलेट करा, मी डायरेक्ट लिहितो, डिवाइड बाय p square plus 1 bracket raised to 4. This is the Laplace transformation. 2 into means 24. So we will get Laplace transformation of t raised to 3 into sin t, which is equals to 1 minus, that is a 24p into 1 minus p square divided by, काय येईल पहा, 1 minus p square. So we can write this as p square plus 1 bracket raised to 4 p square plus 1 bracket raised to 4. Now suppose this is equation number 2. हे कॅल्क्युलेट करा. हा डिव्हिजन रूल इथं व्यवस्थित तुम्ही घरी सॉल्व करा. हा डिव्हिजन रूल, अगेन वी हॅव टू यूज द डिव्हिजन रूल, देन वी विल गेट दिस रिझल्ट. 2 बाहेर कॉमन काढा म्हणजे 1 minus 3p square. याला सॉल्व करा, अशा पद्धतीने येतं. सो नाउ e raised to minus at, e raised to minus at pt, म्हणजे इथं p किती आहे, -1 आहे. p is equals to -1 आहे. नाउ see this. Now we have integral from 0 to infinity e raised to pt minus pt into f of t dt, which will be the 24p into, आता लॅपलास ट्रान्सफॉर्मेशन वापरायचे. लॅपलास ट्रान्सफॉर्मेशन वापरत असताना p म्हणजे काय येतो, p म्हणजे इथं -1 आहे. सो 24pt -1 minus p square divided by p square plus 1 bracket raised to 4. Now here put, see this, that means integral from 0 to infinity e raised to minus p means t into f of t dt. आपण याला f of t इथं काय घेतलंय पहा 1 मिनिट. हा इथं शिफ्टिंग थेरम वापरा. शिफ्टिंग थेरम वापरला तर p plus 1. ठीक आहे. सो यू कॅन कॅल्क्युलेट धिस साइज. f of t 1 minute. Actually we have to use here f of t is equals to e raised to t into sin t. T into sin t. Keep this as it is. T cube into sin t. ओके, नो प्रॉब्लेम. तर आपल्याला इथं प्रॉपर्टी कुठली वापरावी लागते तुम्हाला मी एकदा दाखवून देतो. हा मोठा प्रॉब्लेम आहे, थोडं व्यवस्थित चेक करा. 1 मिनिट. ओका, e raised to Laplace transformation of e raised to at into f of t. e raised to at into f of t means capital F of p minus a. p minus a. इथं p म्हणजे किती असणार आहे? 1 असणार आहे. So we can write this as putting s is equals to 1 or p is equals to 1. So we can write putting p is equals to 1. So integral from 0 to infinity e raised to minus t into f of t dt, which is equals to 24 into 1 minus 1 divided by 1 plus 1. That is equals to 0 and hence proved. हे करा, व्यवस्थित करा. परत एकदा काही अडचण आली तर तुम्ही स्वतः सॉल्व करा. तुम्ही स्वतः सॉल्व केल्यानंतर याचा रिझल्ट तुम्हाला समजून येईल. ठीक आहे. म्हणजेच हा रिझल्ट आपण कम्प्लिटली प्रूव्ह करू शकतो. ऍक्च्युअली इथं मेन कुठलं टार्गेट आहे? ऍक्च्युअली वी हॅव टू कॅल्क्युलेट लॅपलास ट्रान्सफॉर्मेशन ऑफ टी क्यूब साइन टी. Laplace transformation of t cube sin t, then we have to calculate the answer. ठीक आहे. काही जर अडचण आली तर तुम्ही परत विचारू शकता. मी तुम्हाला होमवर्कला प्रॉब्लेम देतो. होमवर्क. फर्स्ट L of t square plus 2t plus 5 into sin 4t. Second, Laplace transformation of L of e raised to minus 2t into t square sin t d. Okay. Third, L of again one type problem. आणखी एका टाइपचा प्रॉब्लेम आपल्याला घ्यायचा आहे. ओके, ठीक आहे. तर या टाइपचे प्रॉब्लेम सर्वच्या सर्व आलेलेच आहेत ऑलरेडी. काही अडचण आली तर नंतर विचारा स्टुडंट्स. L of t square minus t minus 2 into cos 3t. हे 3 प्रॉब्लेम सॉल्व करा. आणि याच्यानंतर काय अडचण आली तर तुम्ही मला विचारू शकता, मी तुम्हाला याचा आन्सर देईन. आणि या ठिकाणी आपण थांबू. गुड नाईट. कुठला नाही प्रॉब्लेम, कुठला नाही स्नेहा शिवणगे, कुठला नाही प्रॉब्लेम, कुठला नाही समजलं तर ते घेऊन या सोबत कॉलेजमध्ये. तुम्हाला प्रत्येक स्टेप आणखी काही समजलं नसेल तर समजून सांगतो, स्वतः सॉल्व्ह करा डेरिव्हेटिव्ह.